Hey everybody, Kathy here, your Maniac. I am about to do a little change up on my nails. I used the rose gold powder about a week ago, and it is starting to kind of peel off. If you can see, like, I don't know if the camera's not really focusing, how the underneath color, which is called Date Night by Sparkle & Co., is kind of showing. And so I'm gonna buff this off, and what we're gonna do is do a really cool ombre of a white shimmer, kind of like a ombre French tip a little bit. So it won't be like a straight line French tip, it'll be kind of a sprinkled and see where it falls French tip, kind of in the same area as you would a regular French tip that would be real clear cut. So let's do it. All right, here it is, everybody. I'm gonna show you how to turn this peeling rose gold chrome powder that I absolutely love, but I'm just so hard on my hands at work that I just needed a change. It's only been a few days, so my nail shape is good. I had Dip 13 by Sparkle & Co. Date Night underneath the rose gold chrome to give it that color. If you haven't seen the video of how to use the rose gold chrome powder, please check it out. I'll put a link to it in the show notes down below and a card up top here. You can click on that if you like. So underneath this rose gold chrome, I have Date Night. So what I'm gonna do is I just buffed off all of that rose gold powder. You can use either a buffing block or an efile, whichever one suits your needs. Again, I am not a professional nail technician. I have learned to use this stuff through trial and error, watching YouTube videos just like this one. I am not a professional, I just love to do my nails. And we're gonna turn that rose gold chrome powder into this ombre. This is Dip 56 by Sparkle & Co. All That Shimmers ombre over top of that Date Night. So I'm going to show you guys what I did here is I went ahead and buffed off all of that rose gold chrome powder. And then I just did a quick another coat of Date Night just so that I had a nice solid base. There weren't imperfections or anything. You can see that's just the Date Night by itself. So I'm going to turn it into this with the ombre. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to take our step number 2, the base bond, Sparkle & Co. And we're going to go ahead and put that on. I've done ombres before, so this is no different than the others. Since my nail shape and everything is good, I'm just going to go base bond right over top of this here. And we're going to get our $3 e.l.f. eyebrow brush and just tap this. Make sure you twist so you get the sparkle all over that top. So this is an ombre because it's, you know, we're not going all the way down, but what we want is this kind of faux French look. So you can see that it's lighter at the top and it doesn't have that hard line like a normal French manicure does, but it's gonna come out to be just awesome. So since we still have base bond on this part that doesn't have the glitter stuck to it, we're gonna go quick dip into clear, but pull it out. Don't tap it over there. It's just gonna get excess glitter into your clear, which you don't want. I have a little cupcake holder that I'm doing all the dip. You can see it's collecting my All That Shimmers for me. So when this is done, I'm just gonna pop that back in there so I'm not losing any. And you can see we've got that nice ombre and the clear over top. And as I do with all sparkle, anything with glitter in it, I'm gonna do a dip of clear over top. So we're just gonna, as always, brush that excess off. We're gonna go one more coat. Now, I will admit that this, because I've already got layers on here from when I did the rose gold powder, this is probably more layers than I would do on a normal day. I don't like my nails to be super thick, but because I wanted to change my mani without having to soak off all the layers, this was the best way I could. I buffed it down, got off all that rose gold chrome powder like I mentioned, and just made them, you know, as thin as possible. You want to be careful not to get down to your natural nail. You never want to buff or use an e-file on your natural nail. So I was careful about that, but we do still have probably more layers than, like I said, I would normally have. So we've got that clear on there, and this is over top. And I know it looks like you're not going to be able to see it, right? But I promise you, you will. Don't you worry. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on to step number 3, solidify. This is going to go ahead and just start hardening up this powder for us. And you can see as soon as I put that on, you can get a little bit more of that sparkle, the separation, where just a second ago it looked frosty all the way across, right? That was that clear dip. We put that solidify on there. I'm gonna give it just a minute to let it work its magic and kind of harden up. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a nice buff on here. And again, anytime I use a glitter, and honestly, anytime I use any color, but especially glitters, I always put a coat of clear over top, because I'm gonna be buffing over top of that. And if I'm buffing right over a glitter, it can scratch the glitter or knock the glitter off, and it'll ruin the effect that you've created. So, you know, the clear just gives us an opportunity to buff over top of this without getting onto that glitter layer. And so now I'm just gonna, I wanna smooth this out and make sure all my edges are smooth. At my cuticle, it's nice and smoothed out, because you don't want a hard edge here, because if that, once it starts to grow out, it's gonna get caught on stuff and start lifting. So not only do you wanna prep your nails really well, which I did when I did my original mani, but you want to make sure that you buff and get these real nice and smooth all around the edges. Make sure it's the shape that you want. And I look at it from all angles, so I'll look at it this way, as if this is like, as if I was looking at it straight on. I'll look at it this way, and then of course just look at it flat on. And from all angles, I want it to look good, so I'm gonna just make sure that it suits my preferences. Now, you might like it a little more rounded or kind of bulby looking. That's a definite fashion trend that has been going on for the last couple years. I use my hands at work a lot. As a flight attendant, I'm constantly, you know, grabbing cups, glasses, moving things, luggage, all that kind of stuff. So I don't like them to be too thick. It's just uncomfortable for me. And again, that's just a personal preference. So we're gonna do a nice brush off here. I'm even gonna go ahead and use this lint-free wipe. And I'm just gonna give it a good wipe. And I've started doing this because I've noticed that if I'm not careful and I'm going quick, these liquids get mixed up and it ruins them. If you get the solidify into the base bond, it gets clumpy. The glossy can do the same. So we're just making sure that we're very separated here. So we're gonna go another coat of solidify on here. Make sure you're covering everything, and that's gonna harden that dip so it's not gonna budge. And just, as always, I just kind of give it a little wipe before I put it in there, back in the bottle. And that's it for the solidify. So I know I've mentioned it a million times. I'm clumsy, so I'm gonna lock these up since we are done with them. This base bond is getting harder and harder to open every time. I had to put a rubber band around it to get it to open today because it was so stuck. All right, so we're gonna give this solidify a minute. Just real quickly, as I was mentioning, Sparkle & Co. is my new obsession. Over the last about 6 weeks, I've accumulated probably 35, I'd say going on 40 different colors now. And I know I say it every single time, but we've got 2 options as far as size, which is fantastic. If it's something you love and you know you're never gonna wanna be without it, you can buy the 1 ounce, which is usually about 25 manicures worth. That is $18 for the bigger one. $9 a piece, or 5 for $40 for the small size, and that'll do 5 to 7 manicures per container. So I get a lot of these minis. The 5 for $40 is just such a great deal, $8 a piece, and I can have just a nice well-rounded collection of different colors that I can use at any time. The hardest part for me is I travel a lot, so obviously if I'm on a layover and I've only brought, 6 colors, yes, I said 6. I carry routinely probably at least 6 to 8 colors with me at all times because I need to have options, right? And so if I don't have the color that I want, sometimes I'm looking at my, my swatches I've got of all the colors that I own, and I'll look through and I'll go, gosh, I really would kill to do an always a bridesmaid today, but it's in California and I am in some other place. So, these minis are nice. I might even they'll let you buy these small bottles empty. So what I might even start to do, I think, is just grab some empty bottles and then half seed these so I can actually have them, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast. I know it sounds silly, but you know, such is my life. All right, so this solidifies, had some time to dry. You want to let that dry before you put the glossy coat on. Gonna hit it again with this lint-free wipe, and this is just out of an abundance of caution. I just want to make sure that any solidify that's on there is not gonna incorporate into my glossy coat. So we're going here, number 4 glossy coat up top, and be ready for the magic. I'll do this up close so you can see the first coat of glossy. We're gonna wait about 15 to 20 seconds probably between coats. Look at how pretty shiny that is. Love it. I am completely obsessed with Sparkle & Co. It's just opened up a whole new world of colors and options, sparkles, all different kinds of things. And it's just so much fun to just play around with all this stuff. I totally love it. All right, glossy coat going on there. The last and final layer, and this will take less than 2 minutes to dry out the door. Then you can do anything you want with it. Go take a shower even. You don't have to wait an eternity. I went and got a pedicure the other day and used regular polish, and it was like, felt like I was sitting there forever. Luckily, the place I go to get my pedicures in Tacoma, where we lay over, is they have these cool zero gravity chairs, so it's at least a comfortable wait. So there it is, my friends. You've got a beautiful All That Shimmers Ombre over Date Night. That's dip 56, All That Shimmers over dip 13 from Sparkle & Co. Date Night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. And again, as always, if you do have any questions, comments, anything you'd like to see, hit me up in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up so we know that you liked it, and subscribe so you don't miss anything coming up. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.